Hear me out. What if I told you that there's a way that you could be doing everything that you're doing on a day to day basis and work hard without feeling the need of having motivation or the feeling of demotivation in your life? My name is Dhir Kumar. I'm a 17-year-old trying to be the best version of myself. And through this video, I'll be breaking down to you guys why the idea of motivation and demotivation is so flawed and how can you deal with that and get over it. So I have been very caught up and busy in preparing for an entrance. So I was not able to record a video properly the last week, and I was supposed to upload this video yesterday. However, I'm going to be uploading it today. Yes, it's 1 week, 1 day. So to make up for the fact that I didn't upload once a week, I'm going to be uploading twice this week, two more times. And yeah, I think from now the frequency of my uploading is going to increase because I have more time. And now that my entrance is over, I can look forward to doing this more. So yeah. Right, so before I start, I want to give you a little bit of a story from my past, which will help you guys understand better about why it is what I'm saying and why do you listen to me, or why would you consider my advice with respect to this topic. So I think my story started in ninth grade when I got in a very wrong crowd and I started smoking and drinking. When you're exposed to those things at such a young age, you feel like that gives you some sort of status and respect, and it doesn't really do that. When you get so much dopamine at such a young age, you do not know how to handle it, and you feel like, oh, I need more of this, I need more of this. Okay, so yes, it becomes very fun, but I think everyone goes through this phase where you keep doing it for a while, and then it leads to the feeling of emptiness. Now, there are two ways to go about this emptiness. One is that you realize that this is not something which you want to do, and you change your life, right? You start doing the harder things, you start trying to live a normal life, you change your circles. That's exactly what I did. And there's another form of dealing with it, which is you find a new form of high, right? So if you're someone who's smoking, you will go into drugs. If you're someone who's using drugs, you go into hard drugs, right? And this is used to fill your emptiness, right? So it is about the approach which really matters a lot, and I took the approach of continuing to work hard. Look, I come from a middle class family, and I'm very happy that I have food to eat every day and I have a shelter above my head. However, I wouldn't call myself financially sound because ever since I came to Bangalore, India, uh, in 2016, I think everywhere I have lived is a little bit higher than my standard of living, right? So I have seen that my parents work twice as hard just to live a normal life in Bangalore, and it isn't even something fancy. So when you see that your parents are working so hard, your dad is working from 8 in the morning to 9 in the night, you hardly get to talk to him, and your mom is going through continuous health issues, and your dad is hitting 60 now and he's going through health issues as well. I think that turns a switch in everyone. And this isn't some kind of, phenomenal uh, come up story. It's just something I feel like people have normalized, and they think that, yes, it's nothing wrong with me living like this. It's completely fine, and I'm going to continue my life like this. And then after a bit, what basically happens is that your life continues like that. You never really get to feel something more. It's rents, it's payments after payments for your parents' health. And yeah, I think a lot of people normalize this form of living, and after a bit their goals are never really met, and if they live a life, it's not even to their best expectations, and they never really try to push themselves. So when you're in a situation like that, that's when the idea of motivation and demotivation starts coming into your life, right? You feel like, oh, when you're not motivated, you're not supposed to work, you're supposed to get some inside feeling, inside burn to just sit and work. Well, that's not the case, right? When I started working hard towards anything that I was doing since 10th grade, 9th and beginning of 10th, the first 1 or 2 years was hell. I didn't like working. I didn't like surrounding with myself with people who are incredibly hard workers. I felt like they're nerds. How could they do that? Like, it was just not cool for me. I wanted to chase fun and keep having fun. But you know what I did? I forgot the thought of not feeling like doing it and stopping it. I kept doing it even if I didn't feel like doing it. And when you do that for a long period of time, you do not really need the idea anymore, and you keep working because you know the bigger picture now, and you know that these tiny things, if you let it take control over you, you can let anyone take control over you, and that's not the type of life you want to live, and I can give you my word on that. And regarding this topic, I've had a lot of friends who ask me that, Dhir, how do you get the motivation to do whatever you're doing? Well, 90% of the times I'm not really motivated, man. I just know that I have to work hard, right? And when you get into that mentality where you do not let your emotions affect your judgment and your decision with respect to your work, I think that's when you truly find your potential, and that's when you truly realize everything with respect to your work ethic. Okay, so I want to give you guys 3 tips about how you can forget these 2 words: motivation, demotivation, and continue to work hard regardless of the situation. Tip number 1: stop treating motivation as a factor but treat it like a reward, right? And what I mean by this is that a lot of people think that motivation is something that is going to be a factor towards your reward or towards your goal, whatever it is that you want to achieve. You think that motivation is something which is going to be there with you for all the time. Think about it. Motivation, what do you feel when you're motivated? You feel like you can work at your hardest. You feel like the goal which you truly want is something that you're willing to work for, and any kind of distractions get out your head, right? You are completely locked in a mode where you have to keep pushing towards your goal. You think that is something which can be achieved by everyone every single day? That is the best state of mind to be in, and not even the most successful people feel motivated all the time, right? So stop treating motivation like a factor that yes, I have to feel motivated to work, because you're not going to feel motivated 90% of the time. What you are going to feel is, after you work throughout the phase where you do not feel motivated, that is when the true motivation will come. And the only way for you to feel motivated is to work when you feel like you do not feel motivated or you feel demotivated. So always remember that. Right. So point 2 is for those people who use burnout as an excuse to not work. Now, burnout is something which is very real. What is a burnout? Burnout is basically when your brain and your body gives up on you, and it's just not able to work anymore because you've been working very, very hard or extensively for a long period of time, right? So what people don't understand about this is that there are 2 types of burnouts. One is an emotional burnout, one is a physical burnout, right? And emotional burnout is something that people use as an excuse, because an emotional burnout is very, very similar to the feeling of demotivation. Output burnout is basically when what happens is that you work for 7 hours of a day. Okay, when you do that, certain amount of work gets produced during that time. Now you do the same thing the next day, and you keep doing that over a period of 3 months, and after 2 months the work efficiency reduces. What work you could do last month, you're not able to do it right now. Okay, it shows through quantitative proof. Okay, now that is something which you should not neglect. You need to take a break that time to understand why is it that you're going through that. Emotional burnout is basically when you feel like my brain is not able to work anymore. I feel very overwhelmed. Okay, I do not feel like my brain is an ideal state to push the way I was pushing few weeks back or few months back. That is just demotivation, and I suggest you that you go through that phase without giving much thought into it. A lot of people might disagree with me on this, but this is an approach which has helped me. I used to feel that thing as well, that my brain is completely blocked. I'm not able to feel anything. But after a point, when you keep pushing towards your goals, when you keep going, nothing matters anymore. You forget all these emotions and these thoughts, and you keep pushing towards your goals. And I think that is something that everyone should try once in their life. If it doesn't work for you, then maybe my advice will now work for you, and that's completely fine. But if someone is willing to try this, I'm telling you, it's going to make a lot of change in your life. Point number 3: use the 10-second rule. Okay, this is something which I do. Now, motivation and demotivation is affected through 3 things. One is surroundings, second is friends, third is emotions. Now, every single time you feel a doubt in any 3 of this, I want you to take 10 seconds and make a decision. Do not delay the process of decision making, because your brain is very inclined towards thinking emotionally if you give it more time to think emotionally. So be quick with your decisions, and that's going to take you a long way. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and if I provided any value to you, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Uh, I'll be catching you guys soon and posting 2 more videos this week. So until then, I want you guys to continue to bet on yourself and continue to crush it in whatever that you're doing. Keep working hard, keep pushing hard, and remember that if there's anyone who can do it, it's you. Alright, so I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you.